I wanted to share with you a tool that I use. It's a journaling exercise, and I've committed to a practice of it, and I wanted to share it with you to support you to regulate your emotions, to use it when you're feeling emotionally charged, energetically off, and it's a really valuable process when you commit to practice it on a regular basis. It's all about connecting and getting to know your inner reality, and it supports you to reclaim lost, disowned parts of yourself, those wounded child parts. It's truly a practice of healing the wounded child within, integrating our shadow, and managing our emotions in a really healthy, effective way. And I like it because it's also about raising consciousness, right? It's not just about shifting energy and moving through our emotions, but it's having a level of self-awareness and insight into who you are, who you're wanting to become, and raising your level of consciousness. So it's a really simple exercise, a simple tool. And what you want to do is get a piece of paper or pull out your journal, and you want to draw a line down the center of the page. What I've done is I've taken a piece of paper and just folded it instead of drawing a line. But you want to do that. So you have two parts, right? And what I tend to do is on one side, write big me, and on the other side, I write little me. And what I do is when I'm feeling triggered, I don't know if you could see that, but that's big me, little me. And what the goal is to create a dialogue between the various aspects of yourself. So it's me and my emotions, me and little inner child me, right? Big me, adult me, who's going to be, in essence, like a good mother, holding space and empathizing and validating the wounded child's experience so that the wounded child is not in control of your life, your relationships, and your business. So it's great for, like I said, emotional regulation. And basically, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you can write down overwhelm, that's the emotion. If you're feeling really hurt in regards to interaction you've had with somebody, whether that's a client, a team member, your spouse, your children, friends, you're going to have a dialogue. And you're going to allow that part of you to be expressed. More than likely, it's a part of you growing up that no one held space for. No one was connecting and attuning to you. And it starts to take control of your life. So the idea is you begin a dialogue. So a lot of times because I'm committed to a regular practice of this, I say, "Hi, honey, I'm here. How are you doing? What's going on? How are you feeling?" Those could be some prompters. And then you really want to be still and listen and tune in and give space for that part of you to be expressed, to show up, and then write what they're saying. And like a good parent, you're going to listen. And you're not just going to listen to the frustration and the content and the storyline, but you're listening for the emotional message, right? More than likely, there's an emotion that they feel safe expressing. It might be anger, it might be disappointment, but there's also other emotions that little you, may not feel safe in expressing, and that might be sadness, despair, hopelessness, helplessness, overwhelm if you're a type A person, a sense of defeated. So you begin to have a dialogue. And you allow that part of you to be expressed. You validate what you hear. You empathize. You give emotion words where there is a lot of story but not emotion. If there's a lot of emotion but not a lot of story, then the big you, the adult you, the good parent you, can provide a wide lens perspective. It's like, oh, honey, I understand how and why you feel so hurt and disappointed and devastated that the people didn't sign up or didn't show up for our Zoom class, right? If this is an example from your business, and you're disappointed because the attendance wasn't as large as you had expected or hoped for because of the amount of signups. And that child you is relating and taking it back to some story, some trauma, some disappointment in your past, and is wreaking havoc perhaps in the moment in your business and slowing you down from taking action or creating a lot of emotional charge before a webinar or a client session. So in my example, I say, oh, honey, I understand. And yeah, I can imagine how disappointed you feel. And at the same time, I want to remind you that you get to play. You don't have to be paying attention or focused or part of this adult stuff. This is me, and this is my work that I do in the business. And remember, we're going to have playtime later on today. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for showing up. And I will be with you shortly. But go take a nap or pull out the coloring book and let her color for a little bit or something like that. And it's just an exercise of integrating and holding space for the integration of these shadow parts, of these disowned parts of ourselves, and growing ourselves up and reclaiming the truth of who we are and not letting our emotional or energetic experiences based on these past childhood experience get in the way of having the impact you're supposed to have, of being productive in your business, of getting your things handled, right, in your business or in your personal life or in your relationships. So once again, like I said, the key is to allow for a dialogue. Hold space, allow this wounded part of you, this emotionally distressed part of you, this energetically charged part of you to be expressed, to be witnessed. You're witnessing, you're listening, you're empathizing with that aspect of yourself, and you're giving that aspect of yourself the big picture when it's focused in a very narrow way, whether it's focused on anger, on revenge, on not being good enough, of failure, of disappointment, giving it the wider picture, like we're just testing out this marketing strategy. And it's okay if it doesn't work, because now we know what to do and course correct before we've wasted too much time, money, or energy on a strategy that isn't working. So it's giving perspective and also reminding that child part that it doesn't need to be in the business, that you're going to be the adult that's going to take care of things when perhaps as a child you had to be the adult who took care of things, and now you're creating perspective for that part of yourself. So that's an example. If you'd like some guided support in using this tool, reach out, let me know, Michelle@michelleconvoy.com, and let me know how it goes for you if you commit to a practice. This has absolutely been a practice I've been committed to. It's truly supported me to have more empathy and compassion for myself, to manage my emotional and energetic experience, to put distance and healthy boundaries between me and the energy around me, because I'm definitely a highly sensitive person, empath, and many of you who follow me and work with me are as well. And it's really not just about shifting that energy, but having insight around that and what's triggering you and why it's triggering you, and having compassion and tending to that wounded child, those shadows, parts of ourselves, and reclaiming and integrating them for us to experience the aliveness and the fullness of what's truly possible when we are coming from an integrated, embodied, and conscious place. Bye for now. I look forward to hearing from you about how this tool has worked for you. And one more thing, when I say I've committed to a practice, this is truly something I do when I am triggered. If I'm in the middle of something and I'm committed to finish that task, or if I'm at an event and about to speak and I'm charged, I may not do the exercise right in that moment, but I'm committed to hear that part of myself and to bear witness to the wound and to transform it. So I, at the end of the day or at a break, do this exercise. And it shifts the energy. It quickly shifts my mood and my emotional state and brings that compassion, that acceptance, that self-love, and the integration of these parts of ourselves that oftentimes unconsciously are wreaking havoc in our life and getting in the way of what needs to get done and having the impact we're meant to have in our businesses. Okay, bye for now.